We begin the bulletin on a sad note as 30 people have been confirmed dead in the Kintampo-Tamale Stretch highway accident in the Bono East region. The accident occurred, according to police, on Monday morning. 27 of the 30 were burnt beyond recognition, while 6 survivors are receiving treatment at the hospital. The accident involved a Benz Sprinter and Yutong bus. Both drivers are among the dead. The Sprinter allegedly drove into the lane of the Yutong, causing the accident. Now, our JoyNews reporter Nana Wiafia Kinteng spoke to Mamavi also Abuaje on News Desk.
Men whom maybe the family will be able to identify later on. Unfortunately, that woman seems pregnant, and the bodies are still lying now along the road here, waiting for vehicles to transport them to the Kintampo Municipal Hospital or any other place of convenience that they will be able to preserve them to wait for their families.
Do we know the total number of passengers on both vehicles?
No, we don't know for fact, but what we...
Let's stay a bit longer on this story, and Anas Sabit has joined us on the line with more. Anas, what more have we learned on this accident? Anas Sabit, if you can hear me, what more have we gathered on the accident? Unfortunately, we seem to have lost Anas. We'll go back to him when we establish that connection. But Professor of Law Henrietta Mensah Bonsu and Chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Josephine Nkrumah, have been suggesting ways of reducing the carnage on Ghana's roads. They believe poor judgment and recklessness of some drivers lead to avoidable accidents. They spoke on the International Women's Day edition of the Super Morning Show.
A lot of it has to do with attitudes, and of course it also has to do with the quality of the kind of vehicles that we find on our roads, the kind of tires we patronize these days. There's a lot of second-hand tires, and we need some policy decisions on that in terms of banning these things, because if you look at the rate of people losing their lives on the road, it is frightening. And for me, who is always on the highways of Ghana, you see it firsthand, the kind of recklessness associated with driving. And then, of course, at the weekends, a lot of people are going back to their villages for funerals and, you know, other engagements. And so some of them are in a hurry to get back, and you have drivers who think, oh, I need to get them back to their destinations as quickly as I can so I can, you know, go back and get another set of passengers and, you know, make more money. So it's a multiplicity of all of these things. But like Mame said, I think we need to begin to enforce the laws, because you have people who should have been charged with negligence and manslaughter, but they're going scot-free, and this has contributed in no small way to the kind of slaughterhouse that my boss, my former lecturer is referring to.
We're losing a lot of manpower as well, yes. And it's sad that we should wake up on a Monday morning to the news of at least 26 people dying in such a gory manner on our roads. Prof, do you think that it is an issue of needing new policies, or just enforcing what we have and finding a way to minimize the consumption of alcohol over the weekends?
Thank you, Charlotte. You have concluded that alcohol has a part to play in it. Yes, it may be true, but I think there are a number of factors. Certainly, there's a lot more movement at weekends for funerals and so on. People leave home very early, especially if they are doing day return.
Yeah.
They leave home very early. Sometimes they have not eaten, which means that their sugar level is low. They are making bad decisions on the road. And as a teacher, I've been taking interest in checking which of the drivers has a good sense of mathematics. Because sometimes in overtaking, you can tell it is poor calculation.
Yeah.
So we may not think of these things offhand, but in truth, some of the poor decisions are based on a poor sense of calculation as to whether I can overtake this vehicle and be safe.
Or whether I even need to overtake this vehicle.
Or whether indeed you need to overtake the vehicle at all. sometimes I also find, because today is International Women's Day, it's a point I'll make. Have you ever noticed when you are driving that when you overtake a driver, particularly a taxi driver, whatever it takes,
he must overtake you.
Overtake the woman.
Yes.
Whatever it takes.
Just because you're a woman.
Yes. So there's something there.
She has to
and then we also have people who ordinarily don't have much power, but when they sit behind powerful vehicles, feel powerful.
True.
Right.
And then they bully smaller vehicles on the road and so on. I think it's a multiplicity of factors. And maybe we really should take time to study what is happening, because we can't keep losing
26, and they're expecting a lot more, so they're not done.
And I'm told it was a kind of head-on.
Yes.
How can there be a head-on collision unless somebody is sleeping and so going out of their lane? Right. Or something that so distracted them that they were in the lane of the other person. It's really distressing.
There's more on this accident later in the bulletin, but now the director of the Gender Department of the Ministry for Gender, Children and Social Protection has revealed they are making efforts to get families to support women who are abused, especially in relationships. According to Reverend Dr. Comforter Sari, 25 years after the Beijing conference, some progress has been made in women development, but much more needs to be done to bridge the gap in handling issues of violence. She spoke earlier on News Desk.
There are cases that women have pulled out. I have handled one case. We begged her. She even removed a chip so that when you call, it doesn't go through. You can reach her. Then one day she just pop up, comes to the office and says, "Madam, I want to continue with the case." I said, "The police are even looking for you. So go and continue the case." She didn't go. She didn't
so
go.
Why do you think? What is stopping
families?
Girls?
Families will sit you down, will tell you are going to destroy your husband's work, or the man who has raped you are going to destroy his work, his reputation. It will also affect our family reputation. They will say so many things that the women become convinced that no, this is not a good thing to do. I cannot go to court with a rape case. So enforcement is a big issue for us. The law agencies are doing their best, but the victims themselves, if we do not put measures in place to force the cases to be tried, and we give them that option for them to pull out, it will be difficult for us to.
So the good
really
thing is the ministry is on top of this. You know what the issue is.
We know what the issue is.
How are you reversing this trend? What are you doing to correct it?
I think a lot of engagement is going on. We have, government is also committed now. I know that government has released funds for the ministry to pursue a lot of implement a lot of our plans and programs, and also to enforce the Domestic Violence Act by providing shelters where women who have been raped can be kept for some time, or girls who have been raped can be kept for some time. And there was this Justice for Children policy that had in it that girls who are raped should not be made to pay any money at the hospital for their medical bills or whatever.
There was actually a lawyer who went to court to enforce that fund set up so that people who are abused, sexually violated, could go and tap into it so they don't pay from their pocket.
Yes, I know government has released some funds. I'm aware, but I cannot give you concrete.
Okay, maybe that's something that we can follow up later.
Yes, you can follow up later, but I know that government this year is really committed to make sure that the fund is in place and girls are protected.
Now, research analyst with the CDD, Mavis Domi, who was also on the show, urged the Gender Ministry to ensure speedy trial in cases of abuse so victims don't relive their trauma while seeking justice.
There are cases that women have pulled out. I have handled one case. We begged her. She even removed a chip so that when you call, it doesn't go through. You can reach her. Then one day she just pop up, comes to the office and says, "Madam, I want to continue with the case." I said, "The police are even looking for you. So go and continue the case." She didn't go. She didn't go.
So why do you think? What is stopping
girls? Families will sit you down, will tell you are going to destroy your husband's work, or the man who has raped you are going to destroy his work, his reputation. It will also affect our family reputation. They will say so many things that the women become convinced that no, this is not a good thing to do. I cannot go to court with a rape case.
We apologize for bringing you the wrong soundbite there. Now, from the late Komla Dumont to the BBC's Akwesi Sapong, many great people with great talent, mostly men, have passed through the multimedia group. But so have the women. Multimedia provides a platform for growth and the development of talent. Now, as the world celebrates women this week, a former news anchor, Jifat Bampo, shares her experience working with JoyNews as a woman.
The work environment has not been made for men, has not been made for women. It has been tailored to women. So as a young company, the company has had to grow and develop policies that favor women who are in a unique situation, married, single mother, have children, have a family to look after. But it's not easy because the broadcast times can't really be changed. But I would say and give credit to the management that they were always sensitive to women. And for this, I would always doff my hat off for Kwesi Trum, doff my hat off for Echikwam. If you went to them with your unique need, they would at least urge your manager to try find a way to help you. It's one of the reasons why I remember in 2008, I had to go away for about a year on maternity leave. And I actually went even before the time. And the company made sure that I had what was required. Not once, not twice, 3 times. In fact, I think in 2013, I was even away for longer, a year and a half. There were rumors that I had been sacked and all that, but it wasn't the case. But I think the company has grown in that respect. And I see there are many, many women working for the company. When I initially joined, I think we were just three. Like in the newsroom, it was Matilda, myself, Araba. Then we had like interns. So Nana Majima Asante joined us. It was a really male-dominated environment. Now I see lots of women, which is good. And they're not just doing stuff for the cameras. You have Gifty Ando Apia, who is doing hard news, which used to worry, I admit, was one of my worries, that we weren't getting enough women into the spaces that mattered. And hard news, politics, security, those mattered. But for a long time, I was the only one. You know, others would just love to do the simpler stuff. But I'm happy to see more women, more female colleagues doing that. And I want to hope that that is something that will continue with policies that also allow the women to grow and to thrive. You know, I must say, I remember when in 2010, when I returned after the support that the company had given me. I'm telling you, 2011 was my best year in terms of work. I mean, I just came in energized. I just worked. I think it was a year I won 2 or 3 awards or something. So it makes business sense to support women who work for you, because once they come back from whatever hiatus, they will give you their all.
Still live on JoyNews today. Let's go back to that earlier story of the road accident on the Kintampo-Tamale Highway. Anas Sabit has visited the Kintampo Hospital where the survivors are currently being treated. Anas, how many people are hospitalized and what's their current state?
There have been 6 survivors, like I reported earlier. Out of the 6, 5 are currently admitted at the hospital. One of them did not have any injury, or he had a minor injury, and he's currently standing on his feet, helping with the matter. But we have 5 people who are currently at the Kintampo Municipal Hospital. Some of them are in critical condition, but I understand we can't speak to them. But are you here? Okay, I have the ambulance officer here in charge of the Kintampo ambulance unit. Maybe Daniel will speak to him briefly for him to give us an update.
Thank you, Anas, and good afternoon, officer. So are you one of those who went to the accident scene, or it's your officials who went there to attend to the injured?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Director. This is Kintampo North Municipal Ambulance Officer. I was part of the team. We responded to the accident scene.
Tell me what happened when you arrived at the scene and what you observed.
Just so it was this dawn around 5:10. We had an information that an accident happened at a suburb of Kintampo Municipal, not far away from Kintampo. So we rushed there to the scene. Then when we got there, in fact, we realized that about 5 people were wailing on the ground and all this thing. And then instantly, then we realized that the 2 cars was on fire. Before we get there, together with the fire people we left at the scene, you know, our ambulance can move faster than the tender. So we got to the scene faster than them. Then we got there, in fact, the whole place was flamed. But we were able to get about 6 people out of the 2 buses. The rest there, in fact, we couldn't do anything. We tried our best, and then even when the fire people came, we do all our best. We couldn't.
Now, I'm seeing the scenes from the fire, officer, and from the accident, and some of these bodies are charred beyond recognition. The vehicle was engulfed in flames, obviously. What could have caused a fire of this magnitude?
But for that one, immediately we can't identify, but later we realized that one of the victims, the accident guy, he is very normal. So he was telling us that the 207 bus, there's a motorbike on it with petrol, and then we've seen some gallons fuel at the scene. That we realized that those gallons, they said they were loaded with fuel, petrol. So maybe, we don't know, maybe that would be the part of it. Or that one, we cannot identify the situation number. That is what we suspect. There was fuel, petrol in the car, about 3 gallons, and then a motorbike was also on top of the 207 car.
Is this safe? Is this something that is allowed for drivers to carry, considering the danger that they pose?
Yes, that is not allowed at all. It is not allowed to carry petrol in a vehicle like that with passengers. No, it's not allowed. And even the motorbike on top of the 207 with petrol stuff like that one is not allowed to do that. But we don't know why they do it. And even we were getting information, you know, the U-turn bus, we suspect that it is the U-turn bus which might cause that accident, because he veered into the lane of the 207 car. Okay. You know, the U-turn is coming from Boku. They said they are from Boku to Kumasi. And this one to 207, we don't know where it is going. It is heading towards Tamale. But looking at the scene, the U-turn bus moved to the lane of the 207 and then push it outside the road more. So suspect that it is the U-turn bus which might cause this problem.
So he caused... Go ahead.
Bypass the police post. You know, the 9th patrol people, they just bypassed it. They were telling us that when they were coming, they stopped them. They stopped him, but he refused to stop. They stopped him and he refused to stop, and not going far away from them, and then the incident happened.
Interesting. So this head-on collision, is your suspicion, was caused by the driver of this U-turn bus who refused to stop when the police stopped him. And the magnitude of the damage and the destruction of lives is as a result of the petrol that was carried on this other car.
Well, that is all part of the suspicion. But we realize that something like me personally, I'm feeling that the driver might have been feeling sleeping, because it's a straight road. There's no curve around the place. It's a very straight road, very nice road, asphalt road, correct. But I don't know what happened. He moved into the lane of the 207. Then they collide.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Now, that was the ambulance service officer at the Kintampo municipality, giving us details of that accident. Now, away from that part of the country, JoyNews is learning two separate protests by angry youth of Sogakope over the killing of an assembly member for the area last week led to a loss in revenue of nearly 50% from tolls. The residents blocked the Accra-Flower Road at the Sogakope Bridge and burnt tires, causing toll booth operators to flee for their lives. JoyNews' Komla Adom and Fred Kwame Asare have been finding out more.
It's been only 10 minutes of observing traffic flow at the toll booth close to the Sogakope Bridge along the Accra-Flower Highway. But we've counted more than 30 vehicles pulling through the toll booths here. 8 commercial vehicles with Togo and Nigerian number plates, a handful of private vehicles, and even motorbikes. This is an ECOWAS road. Economic benefit to residents and business owners here is immeasurable. District Chief Executive for South Tongue, Emmanuel Agama, underscores the importance of a highway.
This road is, ECOWAS road, where we have international or other people from neighboring countries passing through. As I said, from Abidjan through Accra to Lomé, Cotonou and Lagos, it's a corridor that most passengers applied, and therefore it's an important route to us as a country or as a district.
Now, if you're wondering why anyone will target this stretch, then this is why.
We have decided to vent our spleen and anger on the whole nation by blocking this Sogakope bridge. We are sorry for the inconvenience we may have caused to travelers, but this is our way of recording our displeasure towards what has been happening in the community.
So on the 1st and 2nd of March, angry residents of Sogakope poured onto the streets, mounted roadblocks, and impeded traffic flow for several hours.
They actually amassed themselves here around 9 a.m., blocked the road to vehicular traffic, and then to somehow register their displeasure and then show to the world and to the government that they are not happy with operations of the police here. So there was no movement here from on Sunday from 9 a.m. to about 1 p.m. when the opinion leaders came in to speak to them and then advised that they should open the unauthorized roadblock that they mounted here on Sunday.
JoyNews has been told the toll booth operators had to flee the booths during the disturbances to avoid being caught up in it. The cumulative effect of those actions of a youth are
a target of 4,582 cedis, for example, on Sunday was not realized because of the mass action by the residents. So they were only able to raise an amount of 2,825 cedis, a shortfall of 1,700 cedis plus, which was lost because of a protest here. Also on Monday, a similar situation here happened. We were told that a target of 4,974 cedis was not met. The operators were only able to realize 3,609 cedis. Also, 1,000 cedis shortfall in revenue. So altogether, in excess of 2,700 cedis.
Though the road is now open to traffic, there are fears the residents could return to block it again. But DCE Emmanuel Agama says there are adequate measures to ensure the international route does not suffer any more blockades.
With this roadblock, is something that disturbs a lot, which we need to up our game so that this thing of this nature will not crop up again.
Komla Adom and Fred Kwame Asare's report from Sogakope in the Volta region.
Now, when 80-year-old pensioner Kwesi Gilbert Arthur invested his over 100,000 cedis with the Gold Coast Fund Management, he did so because he wanted to enjoy a trouble-free retirement. But his worst nightmare has come to reality as he is unable to access his locked-up monies with the investment company. He's now part of hundreds of aggrieved customers who are saying they will vote against the President Akufo-Addo-led government if he does not intervene and help them retrieve their monies. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
The auditorium is charged with more than 200 people with red head and armbands. Chants of no money, vote against reverberate at all sides of the meeting room. Here, I've met the 80-year-old man. He says life has become difficult without access to his invested retirement package.
I've invested well over 130,000. I was to pay my nephew's fees at Ghana Telecom. I couldn't pay. Apart from that, I need money for my medicals. I'm not getting anything. I am more or less, I have more or less become a beggar on my relatives.
Grandpa Kwesi's story is similar to all the people gathered here in this room. Civil servant Isaac Labi is part of the aggrieved customers heavily chanting, "No money, vote against." He says the group will vote against the President Akufo-Addo-led government if nothing is done to help them get their monies.
Of the people are crying day and night on their head. The cry, the blood of the people. People are dying. People are getting stroke. People are going through trauma. They are blood. They are blood. The blood of the people is crying on their head. They should be thinking about it. It's as if they don't care. They don't care. As for me, I will vote against them. And everybody here will vote against them. Of course, but you cannot treat people like this. Look, we all voted for MPP to come to power. But little did we know this is what they were coming to do. They are not wiser than we are. They are not wiser than we are. They are not knowledgeable than us. They only have the opportunity, and that is all.
Financial sector, OT Regional Director of Agriculture, Obrien Nyakum, is making a case for more government subsidy for farmers for increased production. He says farmers' concerns about government support are critical, especially with implementation of Planting for Food and Jobs PF&J initiative. Mr. Nyakum told an event at Edra in the Ashanti region, some farmers are determined to cultivate more, but limited resources are restricting them. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more.
Does your soil have what it takes? Rhetorical question on farmer's T-shirt who seeks to psych the minds of food growers on how much the soil can give. Whenever we receive the fertilizers from the distributors and importers, let us do well to distribute them to the farmers. Last year, for instance, some distributors received fertilizers from Planting for Food and Jobs but hoarded them and later sold at a higher price to the farmers. This became a worrying situation to the farmers. What happens if a farmer's soil cannot provide nutrients for their crops? How about farmers not having good seed?
We are also fortunate to have some of the suppliers of the input from this municipality.
Municipal Chief Executive for Ejura Secretary Dumasi, Mohammed Bamba Salisu, says Planting for Food and Jobs has come to tackle such challenges.
And last week, for example, I visited her and I can see on authority she has about 500 people working on the seeds, people that are working on the improved seeds alone. So apart from the job that it is creating in the process of the seeds, the retail shops around the municipality are also doing very well because most of the inputs, we sell them here. So our youth are also getting something to do before we even talk about the farmers who are also embracing the Planting for Food and Job greatly.
But one limitation of Planting for Food and Jobs is the number of subsidy provided. OT Regional Director of Agric says survey confirms farmers' request to expand their farms.
farmers do complain when we go around is the limit that the government has put on the planting for food. That is those who are benefiting. That's a maximum of 2 hectares. That is 5 acres. You know, it's a small-scale production that the government is supporting. So farmers do complain and request that, if it's possible, the government should subsidize more than the 2 hectares. So I'm also appealing to the minister and the big man at the top, whether, if it's possible, they'll be able to expand the inputs to farmers based on their acreage. Though the commercial farmers can support their farms, but we have medium-scale farmers too, who, if they are supported, will also do well. But there's also another room that if you are an outgrower scheme, you can apply, and the government as well will give to outgrower schemes.
Still live on JoyNews today with me, Daniel Daze. Good news coming in from the oil sector. The Vitalo is confident of smooth production and offtake in the Jubilee field. There's more when we take business right after this.